Check engine light on with code P0171 and P0174. Here's why and fix for Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Honda. If you see these two codes, the P0171 and the P0174 codes, pop up on your dashboard at the same time, it means in most cases that your engine is running too lean on both banks, and that can lead to performance issues, rough idling, or even engine damage if left unchecked, and a lot more. Stay tuned to this video, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through other reasons why those codes show simultaneously, how to diagnose them accurately, and the most effective fixes for Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and Honda car models. Now let's get to the problem so you can avoid unnecessary part swaps and get your ride running smoothly again. First of all, what does the P0171 and P0174 codes mean? And why are you getting both codes at the same time? When your engine control unit throws the codes P0171 and P0174 together, it is signaling a low fuel-to-air ratio across both sides of your airflow sensors, meaning that there is too much air or not enough fuel. It doesn't mean the engine is smarter than us. It simply means both banks are reading insufficient fuel. Since each bank of cylinders has its own oxygen sensor, seeing both codes points to a systemic issue, not just a single cylinder mishap. We need to find out what's starving the fuel or adding extra air to the whole system, which brings us to point number 2. The common reasons for throwing the codes mentioned earlier in both banks. So when both banks report lean conditions, low fuel-to-air ratio, there are key triggers to check for. Vacuum leaks downstream of the mass airflow sensor allow unmetered air in and skew the meter's readings. A faulty MAF sensor can underreport intake air, leading the ECU to underfuel. Low fuel pressure due to a failing pump or clogged filter affects both banks equally. Exhaust leaks upstream of the O2 sensors mimic lean conditions by letting extra air in. Incorrect fuel trims or sensor errors from O2 sensors or wiring can amplify minor lean conditions. We need to measure and verify each of these before replacing parts indiscriminately. Start with your OBD2 scanner and note the short-term and long-term fuel trims. Are they high, steady, or fluctuating? That gives clues to steady state or intermittent faults. Open your hood and inspect the vacuum hoses and PCV lines closely. Look for cracks, brittleness, or loose connections. Check the intake manifold and throttle body gasket area for leaks. You can use a smoke machine or even propane around suspected areas while watching the fuel trims move. Next, inspect the air filter box and mass airflow sensor housing. Misaligned doors or gaps can hurt readings. Don't overlook the exhaust side either. A leak before the O2 sensors can trick the ECU into leaning the mixture. Work methodically and let the car's data guide you. Number 4, mass airflow sensor issues, often the silent villain. A faulty or dirty mass airflow sensor is one of the most common causes of P0171 and P0174. Even a small coating of oil, dust, or debris on the mass airflow wires can make airflow readings inaccurate. A good test: unplug the mass airflow sensor while the engine is running. The car will surge or stumble significantly if the sensor was functioning. If it stays smooth or only slightly rough, the mass airflow was likely faulty. Cleaning it with a proper mass airflow cleaner and reinstalling can solve the issue. But if it still throws codes, replacement is the next step. Always use OEM or recommended replacements to ensure accurate calibrations across Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and Honda models. Number 5. Vacuum leak testing, catching the invisible leaks. Next, tackle those vacuum leaks. Any cracked hose, split gasket, or leaking intake manifold joint can introduce unmetered air that skews the mixture. You can perform a simple smoke test, introduce harmless smoke into the intake system, and watch for leaks. Alternatively, a propane or carb cleaner spray can highlight intake leaks. If the engine speed changes when sprayed, you've found a leak. Always fix with quality replacement hoses, gaskets, or clamps. Even small leaks near the brake booster or PCV valve can trigger lean codes across both banks. Number 6. Fuel delivery, pressure, and flow. If airflow components are clean and vacuum tight, focus on fuel delivery. Both banks underfueled? That points to low fuel pressure or restricted flow. Check your fuel pressure at the Schrader valve, if equipped, or via a gauge in the rail. Compared to factory specs, around 40 to 60 psi for most cars, and note if it drops under load. A failing fuel pump, clogged fuel filter, or weak pressure regulator can cause lean codes. Place fuel filters every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, and don't ignore the pump, especially on vehicles with high mileage, which can be surprisingly affordable and straightforward to swap out. Number 7. Oxygen sensor harness and exhaust leaks. Oxygen sensors upstream of catalytic converters play a central role in regulating air-fuel ratio. A wiring issue or failing sensor can send false lean signals. Check for frayed wires, loose connectors, or dirt corrosion. Also inspect for exhaust leaks before the O2 sensors, common at exhaust manifold gaskets and downpipe flanges. Even small leaks allow in outside air, tricking sensors and forcing lean codes. Repair exhaust leaks with new gaskets, clamps, or welded patches depending on location. Clean sensor connectors and ensure tight seals to guarantee accurate sensor readings across both banks. Number 8. Fuel trim data interpretation, lean or rich job done right. Fuel trim readings are your roadmap. Short-term fuel trim, STFT, reacts instantly to minor changes, like a quick lean puff from propane spray. Long-term fuel trim, LTFT, is the average learning over longer periods. If both short-term fuel trim and short-term fuel trim show plus 10% or higher consistently on both banks, the condition is systemic. Intermittent or small spikes may indicate minor issues. Use these readings throughout the diagnosis check before and after fixes. If your trims stay high, revisit the mass airflow, vacuum, fuel, and exhaust systems until trims fall within a safe plus minus 5% range on both banks. Quick fixes that actually work. Here's what to try first. Clean the MAF sensor with a proper cleaner. Replace damaged vacuum hoses, PCV lines, or intake gaskets. Change air filter and inspect the airbox seals. Replace clogged fuel filters and ensure fuel pressure meets specs. Inspect and repair any exhaust leaks before the O2 sensors. If you saw issues with fuel trims, replace the faulty oxygen sensors or wiring in that bank. By tackling these in order, you cover the most common causes of simultaneous banks running lean, and often clear both P0171 and P0174 in one sweep. Number 10. Make repairs by brand. What to know for your Ford, Chevy, Toyota, or Honda. While the diagnostics are universal, here are brand-specific tips. Ford often has PCV valve or intake manifold gasket leaks as common culprits. Chevy trucks with original fuel pumps can develop low fuel pressure as mileage climbs. Don't forget to inspect your modular returnless systems. Toyota intake boots on Corolla and similar models are brittle. Keep an eye out for hidden cracks behind the throttle body. Honda Civic and Accord sometimes suffer from cracked PCV hoses and dirt buildup on MAF housings. Clean these early. Knowing where each brand typically fails speeds your diagnosis and minimizes part swapping. Number 11. Test drive and clearing codes. Prove the fix. Finish up with a test drive, giving it some acceleration and light throttle. Monitor fuel trim readings. They should remain within plus or minus 5%. Then, clear the codes via the scanner. If, after a couple of drive cycles, neither P0171 nor P0174 code returns, you've nailed it. And if the codes came back, just take a break and revisit the system with fresh eyes. Inspect the entire intake and fuel system again. Or take the car to a mechanic. Remember, don't panic swap sensors. Aim to fix root causes, not symptoms. If this guided you through solving lean bank codes, drop a comment and tell me what worked for your car and which vehicle you drive. Also, check out this video here where we covered 20+ secret car features no one knows about. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more diagnostic deep dives, and ring the bell so you never miss our repair video again. Thanks for watching, and here's to keeping your ride running rich, but in a safe and balanced way.